Hey friends, it's your boy BigTCGFan coming at you with another video, and today we are going to be doing a decklist video. And today I'm going to be presenting you guys with my Cody the Codex deck. A lot of times when I make these decks, you'll note, especially if you go back and look at my decks, there's a lot of tribal decks, there's combo decks, and some decks with just silly themes. This one right here is a theme deck. As you know, his primary skill is you can't cast any permanents. And so what I decided to do was make a deck that outside of the lands in the deck was all non-permanents in order to take advantage of that. But I went even further. I only used cards from the Mystical Archives. So what I'm going to do here, let me grab it real quick. There we go. Yes. I'm going to go through the lands with you guys and then show you it. So as you know, I own the some Etsy, they're dual lands, but they're like proxies for the dual lands, but I got the Zendikari ones because I just thought they were really cool. So obviously I have all 10 of them, right? I just think they looked lovely. I really liked the Zendikar lands. So, all right, so then I got some pain lands that are the search lands. I only have the 5 from the Secret Lair. I bought that. I think I even showed it on the video here. Yes, I did. All right, and then I got a bunch of these shock lands. You know, so I got the Stomping Ground, Overgrown Tomb, Sacred Foundry, Blood Crypt, Steam Vents, Breeding Pool, Temple Garden, Hallowed Fountain, Godless Shrine, and Watery Grave. All right, so then I got, since I didn't own all 10 of the search lands, I just grabbed, I tried to do 3 of each dual combination color so that I would have an even mana base. Although when you're playing Cody, that's not as important, but I wanted to have that if possible. So I got this filter land to sub in for one, Glacial Fortress, the flip land, the Merkle path, the pathway one that flips black blue, Wooded Bastion, Dragon Skull Summit, and then of course I got a bunch of other lands outside of that. So I got a foil Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Temple of the False God. This is a great card when you're dealing with Cody. Care Keep. Sometimes, as you know, Cody's the only permanent, so sometimes it's nice to be able to generate permanents to help you protect yourself. Reliquary Tower. Sometimes you just need to try to get a little more draw, so I put that in here. You'll note I have all of the Maze of Ith style lands like this one. The idea being, because I don't have a lot of permanents, so there's Mystifying Maze, I'm going to need to prevent large monsters from smashing my face. I just put this one in because it made goat tokens. Blast Zone, since all I have is one permanent in the whole deck outside of the lands, this card right here is very strong, so I went with it. And then of course Maze of Ith, very important. And there's Cody. So what I did was I tried to like keep a fluid mana count because the 1-cost cards are great, but you really can't use them with Cody's ability. This deck right here has very limited ways to win. It's, like I said, it's more of just a silly theme deck than it is I'm trying to win the game. It can win the game though. But so you have Shock. I took out the Strixhaven mythical cards that aren't very good. Just didn't like them in it, or like if they say, oh, search for a permanent, you know, that's useless to me. Swords to Plowshares, Lightning Bolt. This deck has a lot of removal, Mana Tithe, and some draw in it. Adventurous Impulse, Defiant Strike. This one I put it in, and it's in there is mostly because, oh, that's the draw pretty much. Duress, very useful. Abundant Harvest. I'll always choose non-land for this one. Inquisition of Kozilek, Dark Ritual, Brainstorm. You can see there's a lot of 1-cost, and a lot of times, and then here's my first of the 2-cost. A lot of times when you use Cody and you have, let's say I had this Brainstorm in my hand and I'm going to cast something, I could cast one of these other 2 or 3 costs and purposefully not use the blue, so after I get the trigger from Cody, then I can cast this with the mana still in my pool. So there's a lot you can do. It's not like this deck's bad, but like I said, it's not going to be a powerhouse deck, but it's fun. Here you go, Thrill of Possibilities, Strategic Planning, Demonic Tutor. By the way, I have the entire, both English and Japanese versions of the... I collected them both. It was pretty cool. Tainted Pact, Revitalize, Lightning Helix, Drown in the Loch, Doomblade, Regrowth, Grape Shot. Now this card right here is probably like one of my ways in theory I could win, because if you could get up out just spells, then you could do a lot of damage, maybe to finish a person off. Not a strong way, because there's no storm count here of a large amount. Despark, Eliminate, Agonizing Remorse, Divine Gambit, Growth Spiral, Gift of Estates, Increasing Vengeance, Negate, Artifact Mutation. I also put the secret lair ones. I took out some of the less ideal ones and put the 3 secret lair versions in here. Memory Lapse, Counterspell, Whirlwind Denial. You can see there's a lot of counters, a lot of draw, a lot of creature kill, and that alone will keep you in the game. This is a nice little, oh, I take some life. Stone Rain, not a big fan of this one. I mean, you can blast the occasional annoying land, but 3, and you saw all the 2 costs, so I'm going to get a trigger. Croson Grip, Teferi's Protection, Impulse, Compulsive Research, Blue Sun Zenith, Urza's Rage, Putrefy, Chaos Warp. So there's another storm card here, pretty useful. Tezzeret's Gambit, Day of Judgment. I generally prefer not to use this with Cody, but sometimes you just gotta blow the board. Mizzix's Mastery. This is one of the cards you use with the storm count cards to really, because you will get a huge graveyard of instants and sorceries pretty quickly in a game. And so when you drop this bad boy down and you're able to just go through all of them again and then hit someone with a storm count. So it's a nice card that definitely is one of my finishers. Harmonize, Fractured Identity. So this is a nice card for me to get a permanent. You lose your Chroma, or use your Avacyn, and everyone else gets an Avacyn. So this one right here, I'm not really a big fan of with Cody, but it's still a nice card. Sometimes you got to wipe the board. Same with this one. Time Warp. Yeah, I love this card with this deck. Primal Command. Obviously, you're not going to be searching for creatures, but the other abilities are useful. A lot of times I go bounce something of theirs and gain 7 life, kick the trigger for something big. And here is probably one of my favorite cards in the whole deck, because obviously Cody is colorless. So with this, I blow up everything but Cody and your artifacts. So pretty sweet. And then Approach of the Second Sun. This right here is probably my primary win condition, especially with, like, this is what I search for when I hit the Demonic Tutor, so that I can cast this. And you saw all the draw in there. If I cast this on you, the next turn I'm likely dumping a bunch of draw, and then this card is going to end up in my hand, and you have one more turn to kill me before I win the game. So, but like I said, this Cody deck is not the strongest deck. It's a silly theme deck. I always find the theme decks and tribal decks, to me, are the most fun to play and see. And this is one of the things I really love about Commander, is you will see people dropping these silly theme decks that, okay, maybe you won't win a game, but you'll have fun, people will enjoy it, and that's really important, especially when playing Commander. So there you guys go. This concludes this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, share if you can. Peace out.